Oh. Oh, boy.
Ella, Chip Ella?
Chip,
Yeah, I think
Chip,
so.
Chip L.
Ella.
Yeah.
And Foster Campos
Yeah.
Campos
Sure.
restored that clock in 1984. I read the paperwork.
Right.
All right, come over here. I'm dying to know about the Aaron Willard. And then we're also going to do the Simon Willard, and then we're going to complete our collect. Here we are archiving again for the Bernard J. Edwards Watch and Clocks Collection, World's Finest Collector. Now, this is the Aaron Willard, brother of Simon Willard, so tell me all about this clock.
That clock was originally from the Adler Planetarium collection.
Okay, that's cool.
And they sold it when they were buying new observatory items. And I purchased it along with several other clocks, and that's an original wood front Aaron Willard banjo.
And,
probably about 1814.
okay, because he lived from 1792 to 1844. I read the inside.
Right.
And on the inside of the case, there's like a little emblem.
The little emblem, it was the engraved name that they used when they repaired a watch or a clock, and it was made by Paul Revere.
Paul Revere of the world famous Paul Revere and the Midnight.
Right. Paul Revere.
And off the top of your head, 2010, what's that worth on a good market?
Oh, 35, 40,000.
I was going to say at least that. Okay, so now that's the, hold on one second for the viewers at home. That is an Aaron Willard banjo clock made by one of the great American masters from the Massachusetts, right?
Roxbury, Massachusetts.
Roxbury, Massachusetts, Aaron Willard. Ties to colonial America. All right, now I'm going to go over here. So we're going to look at only banjos today and then the tall case clock. This, correct me if I'm wrong, is this not Aaron Willard too?
That's an Aaron Willard Jr. That's the son of the clock we just looked at.
So that's Aaron Willard Jr., so that would be...
Aaron Willard's nephew. Simon Willard's nephew.
Simon Willard's nephew. And what's the story on that clock?
That's the next generation clock made by the sons of the famous family, continuing in the family homestead and continuing to make clocks.
And that is...
That probably would be 1840s,
okay.
Middle 1840s.
And that's not going to be as rare as the father, but that's going to be rare enough?
Oh, yes.
So what would you put that in a good market?
Oh, that's probably 10,000.
Now, do you know what woods these are made out
of? The first clock was made of mahogany.
That's what I thought, mahogany.
And the second clock was wood as a mahogany veneer.
Now, everything's original on these clocks.
Everything's original.
Even the dial.
Right.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next clock. Now, what I'm looking at here is got a lot more glass and brass, and it's also a banjo clock. And so I'm going to move over here. Tell me the story of that clock.
That is an Aaron Willard Sr. banjo with a very rare movement, which is called the T-bridge movement. And it's from a very famous collection, the Chipman P. Ella collection. Chipman P. Ella was the man that wrote the book on the banjo clocks, which is used by all libraries.
So that's also between the early part of the 19th
He had a fire in his house and it was singed, and Foster Campos, the famous clock restorer, restored it to its original state.
And ballpark figure in a good market?
Which one gets his key? We didn't know.
I don't know.
We don't know. We've got a mystery key. But every clock but the one we're talking about has a key, Mother.
Okay.
So
well, it came from something.
Well, then put it in there.
Put it on top or in that clock. In a good market, what's that clock worth? Because it's been restored.
That's probably 15, 18,000.
Because it's been restored.
Yes.
All right, so this is the last banjo in here. Though not, we have more banjos in the house. I'm trying to get a good picture of this one. Now this one I have no idea. This one is a Burley?
Francis Burley.
Francis Burley.
And Frances was the painter of the dials, and her husband, Ted, was the maker of the clock. He is called a modern master. His clocks rival the older clocks, the period clocks, but his are new from around the 1960s and 70s. They bring upwards of $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 a clock. and very rare.
And
He is deceased.
okay, but this is not the only Burley in the house.
That's the only Burley I.
What about the ones in the upstairs hallway? There's no Burleys there. Those are Couriers.
No, those are Edmund Courier and
Elmer Stennis.
Elmer Stennis.
Are those? Okay, I've already photographed those.
Right.
So, what is a Burley? Give us a rundown on Burley and Stennis. I mean, on Courier and Stennis.
Oh, Edmund Courier is probably one of the rarest clocks I own.
That's
That
American.
is a presentation lyre from 1812. Edmund Courier.
So you only have one Courier.
One Courier, and it's a presentation lyre, gilt edge presentation lyre.
And that's rarer than maybe a Aaron Willard?
No, it's in the same group as Aaron Willard and
So,
Simon Willard.
was he an American clockmaker?
American clockmaker at the turn of the 17th and 18th
And then
century.
Elmer Stennis was a famous clockmaker that murdered his wife.
Right, and his son allegedly murdered him. And he made clocks in prison and out of prison and on bail. And we have a Durandal from that he made before he went to prison. And we have a presentation lyre made while he was out on parole. It's parole number 2.
Unbelievable. And it says that in the case somewhere.
In the case.
So, Elmer Stennis. What does Elmer Stennis run? Because there can't be that many in the world.
Elmer Stennis was probably the finest of the modern masters.
Pretty cool. All right, so now we're going to go look at the probably. Well, okay. Let me just archive it first. This is a Simon Willard tall case clock. It's very hard to get a picture of it.
Well, you should do the little banjo first.
Hold on, I got to do a little banjo first. We'll be right back, Mr. Simon Willard. Where's a little banjo?
Right there. Diamond head banjo behind you.
I thought this was a reproduction.
It is, but it's the same period as Stennis and Burley. He was
Oh,
one of the modern masters, Wayne Klein,
okay.
and he's famous for his diamond head banjos.
Nice. Good, we got
They
that.
came in this miniature style and also a full length style.
Cool. Now, while we're on the subject, now I've known you. You've said this several times before, but the art, the painting behind you,
Right.
you said that you've never seen another one ever,
No, there is only one.
and that's Waltham.
This is
Rockford.
Rockford Watch Company band from the Rockford Watch Company offices in Rockford, Illinois.
And that's a painting,
Pastel.
a pastel, and that's the only one that's ever
It's a one of a kind.
one of a kind.
Yeah.
So we will be certain to note that for our archives. Now I'm going to try to get a picture of the Simon Willard because I don't have any video of it.
Well, the next one you should do is
All right. I didn't know there was more
banjo
clocks in
the
here.
hallway.
Okay, where's the banjo and the little one?
The little banjo, which is a...
Hold on, because I can't hear you from here. I'm just going to photograph it.
Okay.
Now we're on hallway banjos, and for the record, the banjos are getting smaller and smaller.
That's a salesman sample of the number 5 Howard banjo that was found in the basement of the factory in Massachusetts, Boston.
Wow. Now, I don't want to be a bad archiver, so just in general, where do you find all these clocks?
Well, they're all now in museums.
But where did you find any of these? Just for example, where did you find this illustrious Aaron Willard?
Well, I found that at the out in the planetarium. That was easy.
Okay, so you're down on a job.
No, I was informed that they had several clocks for sale, and I went down and bought them.
So this hung in an office or a library or somewhere. It
No,
was.
it hung in the Adler Planetarium in their exhibit room
Why? How?
because they had a timepiece exhibit, but
Okay.
that went the way of the wind when they needed a new telescope.
Yeah, I don't know how you got that.
So did you get this in the 60s or 70s?
The 70s.
And how much did you pay for it?
I
You-
paid $400.
Yeah, I think you already said that. $400 for that.
$400.
So, quite obviously, a good investment in clock and watch
Very
advertising
good.
for people collecting at home.
Yeah.
All right, now are we ready to go to the big ticket item?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to archive it one more time.
He did my plan.
So now we're going to archive what I'm calling to be his finest clock.
What about my clock?
Certainly one of his best stories. This is, again, a Simon Willard tall case clock. Very hard to get a picture of it with the technology I'm using. But, all right, even though I know the story pretty well, the people at home don't, your nieces don't. So that is the Simon Willard tall case clock.
Right.
Okay. And tell us that story.
I was sitting in the chair one day and I got a phone call that there was a local sale at a home, estate sale, and that they had an English grandfather clock for sale.
Right.
So eventually, after the Bears game, I went over and I looked at it, and lo and behold, here was a mislabeled Simon Willard Roxbury tall clock from 1794 that had a big sign on it, English grandfather clock, $600.
Right.
And I gave him a fast $600, and I brought it home immediately and polished it, and it's been in the hallway ever since.
Okay, so that was like, what, 1975?
75, 76.
So at that point, you're already an expert in clocks and watches.
Yes.
You're already the president of Chapter 3 Chicago and
Right.
the National Clock Association. So you knew immediately it was worth hundreds of times what they were
Yes,
selling it for.
right. They were just selling the contents of the house so they could sell the house. They just wanted
right.
to empty the house.
Because we know enough of, I mean, you've also written about this
Right,
in one of your books.
right.
So, okay, so now the clock goes back to Simon Willard, the great
The
master, Aaron Willard's brother, but isn't the ownership of it also important? Because you can also document all the owners.
Right, and we have all the owners going back to the first owner, which was Arthur Tappan, who was George Washington's next-door neighbor.
And Arthur Tappan was a famous philanthropist.
Very famous, and we have the book in the bottom of the clock.
Right.
That is, the title is The Philanthropist,
Right, Arthur Tappan.
Arthur Tappan.
Now, is that any relationship to Tappan Gregory or coincidence?
Tappan Gregory was his great-great-grandson and got the family name as his first name.
So how does that work? I'm so confused here. So Arthur Tappan is Tappan Gregory's grandfather,
Great-grandfather.
great-grandfather. How come they don't have the same last name?
Because the mothers were, a daughter married and got the name Gregory.
Oh, I see. So it's a maternal.
It's a maternal.
Okay. Because that would explain his sister Charlotte Gregory.
Right.
And his father was S.S. Gregory.
S.S. Gregory, who was the head of the American Bar Association, as was Tappan Gregory. They're both members,
Right.
heads of the American Bar Association.
They were certainly very famous lawyers, too. So now this clock is all original, right?
Well, the base has been was taken off, and a new base going back to the 1800s was put on to make the clock taller.
But that doesn't.
We don't have it on here. It's in the attic because it brings the clock up over 8 foot tall.
But for future reference, is that part of the clock?
That goes with the clock. Yeah.
And that's in the attic. Well,
That's
that's
in
good.
the attic.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
And
But it won't fit in the hallway because it goes over 8 foot with the base. To fit in the house that it was in, they wanted a taller clock, and they redid the feet and made it extension 3 foot taller.
now, how many Simon Willard clocks are there in the world?
Well, they're only in museums.
Well, how many? 150?
Probably under 100. Most of the famous Simon Willards are in the White House and the famous Eastern locations and the Senate and the
Harold Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan. We've seen that with our own
the
our
Art
trips.
Institute in
Chicago has one. Does not have one.
But they have his brother, Aaron Willard, tall case banjo. Tall case clock.
So really, honestly, the White House has
one.
really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that movie star has.
Oh, and the biggest collector is what's his name, Sue? The actor Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby collects Simon Willards.
Yeah.
Now,
And the biggest collection of Simon Willards is at the Simon Willard Homestead and Museum,
Oh, yeah.
which a doctor and his wife made their life passion, and it consists of the largest assembly of Simon Willards in the world, which is approaching 60,
okay.
which includes all different types of clocks, tall clocks and banjos and
Who owns it at Homestead
And-
now?
it's owned by the Historical Society of Massachusetts.
So let me ask you this question. Bill Cosby, quite obviously a multimillionaire.
Yes.
So you could contact him through, whatever, and say, hey, Bill, I too have a Simon Willard, and, if you got the right price, I'll sell it to you.
Right.
What's it worth then to a Cosby?
Well, nobody knows the price. They're so rare that you don't know the price until it goes up at auction.
Well, just ballpark it. Give me different
Well,
scenarios.
Condition. The only thing is the finials basically are not original. That we know.
Okay, Mom, now we are going to have to edit that video.
This is here.
One finial
This is not
is
correct.
suspect.
This is.
But that's not
Major.
That's not major.
Yeah.
Is it a cool 100,000? Do you think it's more like $250,000?
They have sold anywhere from, in 1960, 60,000 to 1 million in the 80s out in New York. One went for $1 million. So between 60,000 and $1 million, depending on if it has a label,
Right.
if everything is
But
right.
yours has a label.
No.
No, mine has all the papers with it.
Yeah, but we don't have the.
So you don't have
I don't have an original label.
And now what's the purpose of a label? Would it have been glued
It would have been glued in the back.
to document?
To document a special person that it was made for.
All right. But you're still quite satisfied with the $600 investment.
Oh, the best.
Okay. So that's all we're going to do today, I think, right? That pretty much covers the fine masterpieces in the living room, right?
Right.
Because I pretty much got everything else. And so that concludes our afternoon.
The Stennis in the hallway.
We talked about the Stennises. I videotaped them last time.
Oh.
I have Stennises on video.
No, that's a good idea, Bob. It should really be documented.
Yeah, because you know why? Because I'm a family man and I care.
Yeah.
To me, it's not junk on a wall. To me, it's
Well,
part of our
what about those
our
three
legacy.
things- What about those three things there?
I have already done the dining room
Steel?
before they.
Oh.
Remember, I did the
You have
the den before the move.
Oh.
The only thing we didn't do was the basement, but I'm not going down there.
Well, there's nothing there.
Yeah. We're good. So that concludes our archival look at one of the great American clock collectors in history, and we hope someday that that you get to enjoy this film and appreciate the quality and the craftsmanship. Again, it's like being in a museum, right?
Right.
Would you say that pound for pound, every single clock in this room would be worthy in a museum?
Well, these are definitely all.
Everything here's a museum piece.
This one in particular,
Yeah.
like you asked me earlier, I don't know if there is another one. I know the museum doesn't have one.
Well, okay, let me ask this
The
question then.
National Association.
What's the rarest clock you own? What's the one clock you own that nobody else owns, or that if you could go on a desert island and only take one clock, or
Probably this one because I've never.
Well, that's my favorite clock, but
that's my favorite clock
but
too.
the Edmund Courier is just as rare as this one
Now, why is Edmund Courier just as rare?
because he made much fewer
Oh,
clocks
okay. Supply and
at the
demand.
same time, and his family, who lives in New England, has tried to buy them, and they're just not available to buy.
Okay,
They're usually tied up in museums.
cool. All right, well, that concludes this portion of a life in times of a collector of
But
clocks and
this
watches.
one, this is very rare.
Mom, come on. If we go through every clock, I'm going to run out of video.
Oh,
Well, just give me 5 seconds on this clock then.
this one I found.
Okay, she's taking credit here now.
I did. That's it.
Yeah.
I
What is that clock?
I found it at in a shopping mall in Vernon Hills,
There's a little candy here.
where they were having what? Antique show.
Collector's exhibit.
A collector's show.
What is it, American, British, wall clock? Who's the maker? What do we know about this clock?
It's a very rare, one-of-a-kind Jerome dial, Gilbert dial, with 4 hands and all the phases of the moons, and it's an incredibly accurate clock.
Nice.
In a special wall case. Usually, if found, they were in a kitchen clock case.
Nice.
Or mantle, huh?
Well, it's a kitchen clock.
All right. I appreciate you found it was free. When did you find it?
No, she bought it.
You mean found it? You were the one who found it to buy it.
Yeah.
I thought you found it.
Dad was down the hall a ways or whatever, and then I walked one way, he walked the other, and then I saw this clock laying on the table, and I called Dad and I said, I don't think I've seen one like this that you have purchased. And then when he came over, he says, "Oh wow," he said, "That's terrific." He says, "You got to buy that."
Nice. All right. So that covers the clocks now.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
I
No,
was
I don't think so. I don't think you covered the miniature Waltham.
Where's the minute? Now there's another Waltham that I didn't see.
Banjo.
Oh, on the
that
right
corner.
side.
All right, I'm going into the corner. I didn't know there was a clock over here. Hold on, this clock is so tiny. All right.
That's a miniature Waltham banjo.
All right, hold on, I'm coming over. Give me a second. So we're going to, Waltham, obviously American, Massachusetts. Go ahead,
Right,
Waltham.
Massachusetts. 8-day movement in it, and probably done around the turn of the century. And just a nice size clock for a home.
Nice. It's all good. And then you turned 75 in 1 week.
Yeah.
And how much money did you win or lose at poker today?
I won today.
Okay, good. And so that's another for those viewing at home.
Howard? Did we do that Howard in that hall?
I didn't know there was a Howard in the hallway.
Sure, that little small Howard.
What small Howard? The little banjo?
Yeah.
We did the Howard.
Yeah, that we did that. Okay.
I think we got it all.
Salesman sample. Oh yeah, we did that
Yeah.
already.
Okay, so here we are relaxing on a beautiful autumn day in Chicago in the residence of Bernard and Susan Edwards, American clock collector. It's second to none. And what's your latest project? I'm hearing you got like the entire Winston Churchill collection.
Yeah.
You bought
books.
a whole book collection of Churchill.
Right.
So those should be a pretty turnaround on eBay, right?
Put on burn about 10 or something,
Yeah.
but only 3 sold. We had a lot of watchers, so leave that year alone. You know,
All right, so now that we have archived, I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll see you next time, and happy collecting to you at home. All right.
Okay.